Welcome, friend. Welcome to Morrowind. Hello, friend. This is the Morrowind Total Overhaul. The last time we built ourselves a character who can actually take on the early game without being too wildly incompetent. In this episode, we're going to embark on a crime spree, the likes of which Seyda Neen has never seen, except for heaps of other new game starts, obviously. We've just finished chatting to Knight Errant Sellers Gravius, and we're good to leave the tutorial, but first, we have to go back through the building like a dose of salts, and clean out everything that's even vaguely valuable. The first thing is this, Celis's warehouse key. Now, because of the way I've got all my various things organized, it's finicky to get the key visible while the menu's up and running. But you absolutely don't want to nab it when time isn't frozen.
Grab her!
Yes, grab me and my mother, just as soon as time's working again. Putting this key down where you can see it is tricky, but there we are. Okay. Ooh, I've been a bad Redguard. Oh no, not 300 imaginary nothings. Please don't take my imaginary nothings, Sir Gravius.
The Nine and the Empire, citizen.
Yes, thank you. I'll just yoink that. It's not stealing the second time you grab it in the tutorial. Do be careful when you put the key down, by the way. It can be a real bugger to find. So, we've got that. And then we just need to go and grab this. Thank you very much. Don't mind me just taking out the trash. Everything's fine. Nothing to see here. Not the droids you're looking for. Move along. Lovely. Thank you. Bye-bye. There is a locked box behind Census and Excise, but trying to do it in the tutorial when you can't save at all is just asking for loads of frustration. So instead, maybe we'll come back to the small amount of money it contains later. This is Master, it's booze. Booze boosts your strength and it stacks, so you can behave like a Chinese bandit from the water margin and drink 20 jugs of rice wine and become strong enough to punch God in the face. Does weigh a lot to carry around, though. It's worth taking the silverware, of course. We already emptied the chest. Flasks, just bottles, they aren't worth it. Alchemy ingredients, yeah, get in the habit of always picking those up if you have any alchemical aspirations, always useful. All the books have an AI voiceover in this pack. I'm not going to do that to you, at least not at the moment. Maybe later, but if there's a book that's worth reading, I'll probably just read it to you. But going that, it'll all sell. Plates and stuff, again, really not worth it. If it's one weight and one gold, I don't bother. The bread, should I say the potion ingredient? Definitely. More silverware, thank you very much. Lovely, charming. I mean, might as well. That's quite valuable for cutlery. Piece of paper? Sure, why not? There, nice clean table, see? I'm doing them a service. Ooh, look, more bread. Thank you very much, very tasty, nom nom nom. That'll make a nice potion, smoothie, sandwich thing. Now, down here is a cellar of sorts. This modded note isn't readable, I've tried. I've even tried clipping to the floor. It's just bugged out or something. This door down is locked. I'm fairly sure we'll end up going back to see what's about here. And then there's a bunch of food and potion ingredients just in these sacks. Just grab everything. It's all fairly worthless and all the ingredients are common, but we're not taking any of it very far. So rather than take the time to sort through all of it for the specifically useful bits, it's worth just junking everything. What's that? A bottle. Worth junking almost everything. There, like, you know, we've left them some really crap plates and ugly bottles and stuff. Oh, we'll have that. I like the way the light is actually affected by taking the candlestick too. It's impressive for, a 2002 game. What? I mean, I was in prison, there's got to be a reason for it. And we're out. Delightful. One last pop-up lets us know the tutorial really is going to leave us alone now, and then that's it. We're into the game. I know I've been saying it a lot, but I really am floored by how gorgeous and lush it looks and how much the colours pop using this particular shader, and just the sheer detail of everything. It really doesn't look anything like its age. It's really impressive.
The Nine and the Empire.
Are you the one that boat
What do
dropped
you
off?
want?
Make it odd to see a
If you're
boat
looking
arrive
to
at
get
that
out of
time of the
Seyda
day.
Neen, I'll be happy to give you a little advice.
Wow, will you all just shut up for a moment? I'm an introvert, damn it. We want to talk to this funny little fellow, Fargoth. If everyone else will just leave us
What do you
alone.
want? If you're looking to get out of Seyda Neen, I'll be happy to give you a little advice.
I'm looking to talk to Fargoth. Are you the one the boat dropped off? Odd to see a boat arrive at that time of day. Hope the Imperials treated you okay. I swear they took my ring. Your ring, huh? I swear one of the guards has it. I had it last week before their weekly Let's Shake Down Fargoth ritual. An engraved healing ring. Family heirloom of mine. You haven't seen it, have you? You didn't notice them taking a ring off your finger? Yes, I found it in a barrel. I stole it back. Here, take it. All yours. You found it. Amazing. Thank you. You're now my favorite friend. I'll be sure to tell the others, especially my friend Ariel who runs the trade house here. Go see him. We'd be happy to see you now. That's very kind of you. Thank you. And you're welcome. So what's going on in town? Anything here? You can get food and supplies from Ariel's trade house. That's also where you'll find anyone who offers training. Not much else in the way of services in this damp little squat. Uh-huh. I see. Any local news? I heard the local tax collector, Processus Vitellis, is missing. No surprise, really. He wasn't well liked around here. A dead tax collector. That's tragic. Just tragic. Moving on. Any advice? It's your first visit to Morrowind, Outlander? Hey, you're a Bosmer, mate. It's a long way from Valenwood. Then learn the law and local customs. Get a copy of Law and Customs in Morrowind. Slavery is legal here. Foul murder is illegal, but if he strikes the first blow, you're in the clear. And that is very handy. A verbal attack is illegal just like an unprovoked physical attack. That's wildly untrue. Folks that touch you about personal honor, watch your tongue, you'll get called out to a duel. Yep, and that's a great way of getting away with murder too. Go up to someone, be really rude to them, eventually they will swing at you. You kill them, it was self-defense. All perfectly legal. Anything else I should know? Talk to everyone. Talk is cheap. Ask questions you don't ask, you never learn. Okay, great. Thanks, Fargoth. See you around.
Ask or get going.
The mouthy Nord over here is the avatar of Christos Triandaphilos.
Keep moving.
Shut up, God. Christos is also known as Johnny Hostile, the creator of both modding-openmw.com and the Total Overhaul list. Ugh, everyone's really running around today like squirrels on speed.
Hey there. I'm glad to see you. I'm Johnny Hostile, the creator of modding-openmw.com. I wanted to greet you and also give you this book. It should serve as a handy reminder of some of the new content you've added into the game. Have fun.
Christos is a very cool guy. He helped me out a bunch getting the mod list properly installed and working. If you have problems with any list on modding-openmw.com, then definitely drop by their Discord. The book he's talking about is a useful reference to the stuff that's included in the Total Overhaul. It's really easy to forget everything that's been included, so it's a good thing to pick up and keep it around. The building he's in front of is Ariel's trade house. The door's around the back, looking out over the coast. It really is a lovely view.
What's this about?
Fargoth isn't joking about telling Ariel about you, by the way. Here's Ariel.
Welcome to Aril's Trade House. I'm Aril, publican and proprietor. You're a new face here, so if you want a little advice, free to new customers, just ask.
As you see, Ariel's disposition towards me is 85 out of 100. That's a 40-point boost over what it would be otherwise. Almost half. Traders are much more generous to you as they like you more, and for Syra, for the limeware platter alone, Helping Fargoth is the difference between getting 296 septims and 459 septims for platter. That's over 150%. This is going to be worth a bunch more through the early game. It's a really important step. It's the devs reminding you not to be too greedy. So, right now, we're just going to sell Ariel everything we can. Unlike most traders, he will buy almost everything. So we can have it. The Iron Dagger, that Flynn, Mazda, both of them, various potion ingredients. Potion ingredients here are almost all common. They're all replaceable. What you need right now is, well, having a stuffed fence is a big plus, frankly. So rather than spend ages worrying about the specifics of it all, I tried to make sure that I'm not setting anything important to the main quest and just dump everything else. Obviously, I'm saving the best for last. So that's 234 septims for everything else, and 642 with the lineware platter. That's almost twice the value of all the other loot combined. It does make such a big difference at the start of the game, and it saves an extra hour of drudgery. And that's good. I like saving drudgery. I like eliminating drudgery, not saving it. I don't want to save drudgery. Now that we've sold everything and we're in the clear for getting intercepted, I'm going to drop a quick save. That's the lighthouse up there. We'll be there later.
What a mess. There's hardly a stitch on ye that's worth more than a quagga pile.
Thanks, Johnny. People in Morrowind are really judgy about your clothing choices. You get better reactions from people if you're dressed more expensively. So pretty much like real life, I guess. This is the door that the key we stole unlocks.
The Nine and the Empire, citizen.
Much like bees, the guards are of the opinion that if you're in, you probably belong and everything's fine, so nicking the key gets us into here. It's perfectly legal to open boxes and crates and poke around anywhere, as long as you don't take anything. So this crate has some bottles, worthless, overwhelming. We're not going to bother with that. We could do that in front of the guard, he won't say anything. In the same way, you could also...
Glory and honor,
Go ahead,
Emperor
stranger.
and Empire.
You're very chatty. Stop being so chatty. Oh, yeah, that's right. I was going to point out that if you're sneaking and you click on a person, then you open their pockets for pickpocketing. That's also perfectly legal. You can pickpocket without taking anything, and just riffling through someone's bags and pockets is absolutely fine. No problem. So if you go into sneak mode, you can see I have an eye in this particular version of the UI that shows me if I'm unobserved, and I can just take everything. I haven't stopped sneaking. Because I'm observed, the eye vanishes. Now, as I mentioned before, my hands are rubbish. Successful sneak gameplay requires decent reflexes, and reflexes are things that happen to people who have hands, so I'm going to save scum if I get caught, particularly right now in here. I know, I'm a mighty disappointment. I'm very sorry. I horrify myself too. It's a hard world. I'll take consequences later on, but in this introductory phase, I'm just trying to get a decent start to make the early game more fun and easier to record. Around here, there's often bits of armor. Just drop a save every few crates to make sure no one's crept up on me. As well as a bunch of ingredients, some bits of weaponry. It's at various levels of use. Some of it's great, some of it really isn't, but while you're actually in the middle of a burgling job, it's best to just grab everything. Well, again, almost. This is moon sugar, it's drugs. Drugs can sell for a lot of money. Skooma is the other main drug. The problem with him is that traders won't trade with you when you have drugs on you, and they're psychic about it. So if you happen to have a bit of moon sugar in your pocket somewhere, traders will just cut you dead. Pair of shoes you stole off the corpse of the guy you just murdered? Great, fantastic, no problem. Illegally smuggled pieces of archaic dwarven mechanism? Totally illegal, yes, great, gimme. Loaf of bread you found at the bottom of a vase that's been lost for 1,000 years? Sure, no problem. Piece of Khajiit nose candy somewhere? Nope, you filth, go away and die in a fire. Yay, ethics. We want this because there's a guy from the Thieves Guild who wants a copy. Down with the man, brother, and all that. Akab. More moon sugar. Armor. What's that? Crossbow. Okay, I don't have any skills for crossbows. I'm not going to be trying to use it. I think I've already been through these baskets, haven't I? Certainly looks like it. There's another copy of that ledger upstairs up there.
Anytime now.
I'm not really interested in going up there. There isn't really anything else to steal. I could come out of Steak, but at the same time, why bother? I mean, well, it's faster. That's why bother. You walk slow when you're sneaking, but key press is hands. See, it's almost like a handy demonstration of something. The guard will be up here in a minute or two, once she's got over the fact that I didn't talk to her down there. Again, let's drop a save for potential security purposes. Drugs. Ingredients. Ingredients. Kwame eggs are literally food as much as ingredients. I mean, they use them for food around here. Arrows. Okay, I mean, I'm sure someone will buy them. By someone, of course, I mean a rill. An actual chest. Skooma. Not worth the effort. I think we probably have the war on drugs to thank for the fact that people are so twitchy about skooma and moon sugar. I mean, they were coding this 25 years ago. I'm sure the US government at the time was annoying and stuff. So that's pretty much everything there is in here.
What's this about?
It's about grand larceny, actually.
That's unusual.
It's not that unusual, no, not near me.
That slave.
So, okay, we've
You like to dance close to the fire, don't you?
Yes, friend.
danced close to the fire. What does that even mean? Is it supposed to be some sort of put down? Anyway, I've cleaned out the warehouse of everything resembling armor and weaponry, plus a bunch more ingredients, and I'm going to dump it all back on a reel once again. Armor is a bit complicated, because Morrowind, of course, is a bit complicated. Every piece of armor has an armor rating, but the benefits you get from that depend on your armor skill and where the piece fits on your body. And to improve your skills anyway, you want to be wearing a blend of heavy, medium, light, and no armor on various locations, so that all of your assorted armor skills get improved when people attack you. On top of that, wearing stolen goods is risky, because they will always be confiscated if you get apprehended. We'll be fine for a while, I'm done with thievery for now, but it is something to bear in mind. Besides, usually you can upgrade by looting the corpses of people you've just murdered anyway, and that material is fine. That's morality. So I'm going to stick on some random bits and pieces of armor across the various armor categories, depending on what I've picked up. Back in a moment. So, okay, there wasn't a huge selection there, but I put on some bits and pieces. Let's see what holes I can plug and bits I can swap here with a rill. I would love to. Welcome to Arill's Trade House. I barter for goods or coin. I also have a small selection of spells for sale. No credit. Do you want a little advice? That's free. That's all that's free. Would you like to hear about the most popular potions, our most popular scrolls? Actually, looking at your spells, I want to get Hearth Heal. So I need a healing spell. And I'm pretty sure that Spark is unique to Auril, as in he's the only trader in the game that has it. It's not a great reason to buy it, but it's a lightning attack with a 5-foot range. Could come in useful. La 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 la. Sanctuary we don't need. Absorbing enemy fatigue is fairly useless. So, thank you. Now, let's see what we can do about fencing some more crap, shall we? We're back in a moment. Okay, dumping all of that onto Auril brings me a theoretical total price of 1,400 gold, almost, which is much, much more than he has to pay me. So I'm going to buy some things that he has in order to bring that down. That's a fairly important core facet of playing the economy in Morrowind. I could sell less, but the big benefit is that by the time I'm done, the stuff I have is going to all be legit, so that's handy. Again, back in the tick. Right, that's a piecemeal set of armor. Bits of light, bits of heavy, bits of medium, a shield, a hat, just common shoes for the unarmored slot, that he still owes me much more than he has, so I have to buy some other stuff as well. BRB again. Okay, I've grabbed some expensive scrolls here and some useful ones, so that almost brings him back down to within the cash he has. I want to see if he has some health potions and bits of useful stuff. Booze, restore luck, shine, cure disease, that's always useful. Definitely have some of that. Cure blight disease, again, always useful. Every adventure should have some of that as well. Modify attributes. Restore fatigue. I mean, there's our potions of sandwich. These are dire, but they are cheap. Equally terrible, terrible health potions, but better than no health potion. Fortify fatigue, endurance, agility. I don't see anything else that's just screaming out at me. We just need a little bit more to come back to within his range. Let's try scrolls on the cheaper end. Ah, divine intervention. That's handy. That'll whisk us away if we're in trouble. So, okay, there, fine. We now have him just a bit ahead of us in terms of total value. It's always worth increasing what you're asking for and then hitting offer. That's the only way you increase your mercantile skill without training. Reduce the price of what you're buying, increase the price of what you're selling, just a bit, so they take it. He gets a disposition bonus for the volume of stuff we sell with him for the value of it, and we get a mercantile bonus for having haggled successfully. If we fail a haggle, every time we fail a haggle, he loses a point of disposition. So don't haggle too aggressively with merchants you're going to want to use regularly. The higher our mercantile is, the better deals we get. The higher our personality is, the better deals we get. The higher his disposition is, the better deals we get. So we now have a full armor selection of really crazy odds and sods. When I dump it on, you'll see we look a bit like a dog's dinner. Titan light gauntlets, Nordic medium cuirass, steel heavy legs, beast leather light shoulders, colourful shield, and a medium worm mouth helmet, whatever the hell that is. And all that has brought our armor to a grand total of 7 points, which is pathetic, but that's the early game for you. If I leave the mouse alone for something in the region of 15 seconds, it'll switch into doing some panning around, and we should be able to get a frontal view of the insane horror that's our loadout. On the plus side, everything I stole has been sold. Everything I stole has been sold. Sold is the word. It's a useful word. I should use it more. So if I get arrested now, there's nothing the guards can confiscate from me, and I won't accidentally lose some key armor and weapons without noticing until it's too late, because that's never happened before. Plus, it's nice to have a little pan around the coast. So Auril likes us, and we've got at least a little bit of protection in combat. Spells ignore armor as a general rule, so we're going to be very squishy to wizards, but they'll be squishy to longswords, and in a sword fight we have a tiny amount of protection. I think I've got medium armor on my torso and head, light armor on my hands and shoulders, heavy armor on my legs, and my boots are just normal shoes for my unarmored slot. The benefit there is the feet are the only armor slot that affects sneaking, so if you've got to leave something bare, make it the feet. Khajiit and Argonians can't even wear shoes in this game. Oh yeah, this is the most peculiar outfit ever. Gods above. We will get more stylish as time goes on though. So the next thing we need to do...
You like to dance close to the fire, don't you?
Yes?
Does that excite you?
If you're looking to get out
I don't like it.
but
orders are orders.
Speak, traveler.
Is to see a man, well, a mer, about a sword. If you head north out of Seyda Neen village and up the road a short way, you can find yourself in a position to receive a rather nice surprise delivery. Head up here, around the corner a bit. Make for the book lying in the road, and... there we are. That's Tarheel. Tarheel has been fecking around with homemade scrolls of super jumping, and now he's in the process of finding out. Here we are. Scrolls of Icarian Flight. Or, as I like to think of them, Scrolls of Ant-Man. They're a great way to get around the map if you remember to have some slow fall or other levitation on you to land with and don't mind too much where you end up, or have really good aim. Tarheel has some money, he won't be needing that, but this is what we're here for, a magic iron longblade. The spell on it isn't particularly impressive, it's just a bonus 1 to 4 damage. The important thing is that having any enchantment on a weapon lets it hit ghosts and Daedra. There are a lot of ghosts around and quite a few Daedra, so it's quite important. If you don't use longswords, there are other magic weapons hidden around town, and I'll show you where they are later, but this is the one I want for now. Thanks, Tarheel. He also has a rather fancy robe, which I'm going to put on to cover my horrifying armor, and some very fancy shoes. I'm going to put those on too. He has a rather nutty helm. I'm going to take that to sell, but I'm going to stick with my weird worm mouth helmet thing to actually have some medium armor skill, so I get a bit of benefit from it. Tarheel here is in the game as a big middle finger to North Carolina University, by the way. A dev named Mark Nelson went to Duke University, and the Duke Blue Devils have a long-standing rivalry with the NCU Tar Heels. Tarheel is flashy, overambitious, and incompetently dies wailing in terror. Or, thanks for the sword, buddy. The last thing that I want to get done for my initial kit is, honestly, petty. And slightly morally bankrupt, but hey, Morrowind's a tough place, and besides, the environment really is gorgeous to just wander around in. It's quite amazing to see what an incredible job the Overhaul has done with it over the course of, well, the years. Every single mesh and every single texture in the game have been replaced, and you know, you really can tell. It still looks like itself, but honestly, it looks the way I remember it looking back through rose-tinted nostalgia to when I was first playing it 20 years ago. That really is something. Also, time. Wow. This here is Adamasartus. It's your basic adventurer's entry-level dungeonette. Cave just outside the village that some dastardly slavers and smugglers have taken over. Inside the first room is Tansy. Hi, Tansy. Bye, Tansy. If you counted the first NPC murdered across all new games of Morrowind, Tansy would be out in front by a country mile. We're here right now because I'm still wearing nasty prison slave robes under everything. I don't like that. And Tansy has fairly good taste, so I'm here for her clothes. I mean, she's a murderous slave, a piece of filth, and she did start it. That's the slave key. We'll get ready to do stuff with that later. She only has a rubbish dagger on her, but this, I know you can't see it underneath my ridiculous armor, but this is a better outfit than the prison rags I've been wearing for several weeks. Get used to being called Fetcher, Enwar, and Swit, by the way. A Fetcher is a menial, one who fetches. Swit is short for slackwit or worse things, and Enwar is a word that means simultaneously foreigner, slave, and invader, which tells you a lot about Dunmer culture. So, we've robbed the tutorial area blind. We've stolen everything that was in the customs warehouse, including their documents. We've looted the corpse of a very silly wizard, and now we've slain Tansy for her shirt. Syra the Redguard is off to a great start saving the world. Yay us. Next time, we'll explore Adamasata's cave and we'll stumble across a murder. Thanks for watching. If you can force yourself to cope with the demeaning horror of giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel, it would genuinely be an incredible help. If you've got any tips, complaints, feedback, Zen coins, or random greetings, then a comment would help even more. The voracious maw of the dread YouTube algorithm hungers for blood and souls. I am just some schlub with no profile whatsoever, so every interaction makes a vast difference. The Vince McMahon exploding joy meme option would be sending the URL to someone else who might enjoy this, of course. That would be just epic if you could do that. But either way, thanks for being here. Have a great one wherever you are. I hope to see you next time.